Hello and welcome to CCE Saturdays. And today we have a special guest with us, Vijay. Vijay is a cloud solutions architect at Rackspace Technology, and he specializes in Google Cloud Platform. He has multiple certifications, and as a GC expert, Vijay leads customer advocacy, specializing in data and analytics. He has more than 15 years of experience and has worked extensively with multiple organizations as ETL architect and data architect in large scale financial institutions as well. So, welcome Vijay to our session. And today we are looking forward to have a session about the superpowers of data, big data in Google Cloud. So, over to you, Vijay.
Hey, thanks, Prasanjit. Thanks for the warm welcome, and I'd like to thank you for calling me over here. And
Pleasure is mine.
Yep, and good morning, good evening to all the viewers looking at the session today. So it's warm welcome to everyone. So let me put the screen. Yeah. Yep. Welcome everyone again. It's today we will be going through unleashing the superpower of data with Google Cloud. It's me. I think Prasanjit have explained and introduced me, and just in the interest of time, we can just go ahead with the next slides. Okay, so before we start looking at our cloud data journey, right? So this is to show the customer how easy is yourself on board onto the Google Cloud platform, especially on the data, right? So there are a few customer challenges before we start. A lot of customers think that cloud can be a complex. You don't know whether how to migrate from on-premises, whether we need to go with the infrastructure first or application first, data first. So it's a complex block what every customer thinks of. Not sure, people might think how to get started your data journey or a big data journey, right? So they never know when to start, what would be the primary sources or primary applications to be migrated into the Google Cloud or any cloud. And every cloud is different journey for every customer. So one customer can have a different journey and other customer treats in a different journey. It is with respect to the each and every cloud as well. But in each and every journey, we need our customers need the advice to get their kick started. They can kickstart their cloud data journey and get themselves on board to the Google Cloud. Okay, so I think we'll try to address all these challenges and see how exactly we will represent it. So today we are going into a data modernization journey where I'll take you to all the phased approaches. Like this will help the customer to start with a simple data analytics, goes to a complex data analytics, and doing a ETL, real-time streaming, and everything, right? So as just mentioned in the challenges, so customers today are varying stages of their data modernization journey, and definitely they need advice to fully realize the power of data based on the workflows. As a solution, what I have built up is a phased approach, which starts with simple data analytics to a complex data analytics, where I have included a few basic machine learning models. You can say it as 101, and most importantly, I've got some data visualization insights, it can be on Google Data Studio or on a Jupyter notebook. So there are multiple ways where we can do a data insights. And this will help to accelerate the data, accelerate the customer's journey, where they can extract the meaningful insights from the data, and which will help the customer to drive their business forward. Okay, so this includes a phased approach, I just mentioned. So we will go through each and every phases. What we'll say, we'll start with the static analytics, where we'll do loading the data manually into the BigQuery from my laptop, and then I'll try to visualize some dashboards using Google Data Studio. This phase is very simple and to use, demonstrate how easy it is to get started on the journey of Google Cloud Platform. Yeah, and the phase two is a batch pipelines, where we do a parallel data processing with help of a cloud data flow and get the data from the Google Cloud storage and load the data into the analytic engine, which is BigQuery. We talk in that detail using our ELT approach, then perform all the denormalization and with respect to the requirements, and then take that data to Google Cloud Data Studio. So to build a powerful dashboard. So next would be deeper data insights, where this helps a user to give a flexibility on writing a scripts, or like a Python script on AI platform notebook, where we call it as Jupyter notebooks, which will help the customers to explore the data in much more depth through the power of Python. And but still, I'll be leveraging a simple data interface or simple use cases for this demo. Yeah, and then I will go with a machine learning insight, where BigQuery is one of the great tool. What it's called as a heart of Google Cloud Smart Analytics toolset, which is capable of doing machine learning as well. So I'll just show you some queries as a creating a models and do help with the help of BigQuery ML. We do try to predict the data, predict the next values in the data using BigQuery ML. Again, it's taking up a simple use cases. And the next comes real-time analytics. I think who don't want the real-time data? So where you need to capture the real-time data or IoT data will help. I will take help of asynchronous messaging service, which is PubSub, and then process the data with the help of data flow, load the data into the BigQuery, and then generate the dashboards on Google Data Studio. And the most interesting part is on the enterprise data processing, where we do ETL processing. It's a no-code ETL service. It's called as Data Fusion. That's a Data Fusion tool which will help customer to perform a complex ETL transformation using a simple graphical interface. Yeah. So this will be the journey today. I'd like to welcome you everyone to the fantastic journey of data. And before
Vijay, that was a great introduction, and you have phased it into 6 different phases, and that not only leverages a customer journey, who like a smaller organization moving towards bigger data size and more analysis, and also it allows people who are working on data analytics to know how to move ahead with more maturity in the data modernization. So
I agree.
This is really interesting.
Yeah, thanks, Prasanjit. So let's get into more on because as I just some time back I mentioned, BigQuery is the heart of Google Cloud Smart Analytics toolset. Yeah, this is one-stop service for all the customer challenges, right? And where we can call it as a power center of Google Cloud, which is BigQuery is open, flexible, intelligent. As BigQuery replaces this, BigQuery can act as a data warehouse, data mart, and data lake. So where we can, for example, data warehouse, this will replace the typical on-premises data warehouse, okay? And then it can act as a data mart, where you would like to organize the data units, where we call it as a business specific data mart, which will be useful getting into a dashboarding and other things. And data lake, I think this is one of the best service what we can use it. So we have a connectivity from cloud storage, Google Drive, whatnot, and it can be the big table as well. So this is one of the many of the use cases what we will be using for BigQuery.
Yeah, actually, regarding the data lake, I normally get a lot of questions. For example, most organizations have data that is heterogeneous, like some of them may be relational, some are flat files, some are stored in the like S3 buckets and object oriented data. So you need a single point where you can connect to them and then you can evaluate those data. So my question is, does data lake address that, and is it difficult to do and stuff like that? Because as a layman, so and
that's
does it require a special expertise? So how does it work?
Okay, that's a fantastic question. Thanks for asking. And this is a question for all individuals who are data enthusiastic and who want to be who want to move into a data world, right? So, data lake is one of the architecture what we can start with, where it can help us to store the data. It can be structured, unstructured. This is the first step where you would like to land your data once it's come to a Google Cloud platform or into a data warehouse, right? So where you'd like to group the data with various data sets or various source systems, how it comes into the Google Cloud, right? And then as a next step, for example, we will be having multiple consumers of the data, right? So this is a raw data, what we call it as data lake, what data will have a raw data, right? So this data will be acquired or used by many source systems or many not source systems, many consumers. For example, there are 10 applications on 10 applications who are using your data, right? So rather everyone getting their own data. So it's always advised to build a data lake. Get all the data of your system, or it can be many sources, get in a one place, right? Then as a next step, you would like to transform the data. For example, I need some applications out of it, okay, but the business logic what I use different. The data what you will be using is the same source data, or you would like to join the data, or you have some different business logic. So you will take that particular data and do a transformation, because BigQuery acts as an ELT tool as well, where you would like to, you have loaded the data, then you do a transformation, and again you can load the data. So that's the beauty of Google Cloud, and the advantage of data lake is what it can be used by many people, many consumers, okay, and you can act as a data distributor as well. So getting the data once into the Google Cloud is a must, rather getting it on every time. So this is what advantage of data lake. Hope this answers the question to all the audience and yourself.
This is fantastic, and it will add a lot of power for the BI, business intelligence, for organizations.
Okay, fantastic. Let's take a move with next step. Okay, so I've just mentioned like BigQuery, how it is, right? So it is powerful, it is robust, and it is simple as well. So I think during the demo, you'll understand how BigQuery, how it has been designed by Google. It's great, where you'll see like a storage and memory are separated, kept apart, where you are connecting with a petabit of network, where you will have the connectivity between them, and which will get you a great performance. It can be fetching the data, loading the data, right? So this is like where you can have bulk loading and a streaming ingestion. So if you consider like the ingestion charges is zero, right? Data ingestion is free of cost, right? And the advantage of BigQuery is, as I just mentioned, it's like ANSI SQL compliant, and where it's simple to use, and it's compatible with all the major industrial tools, right? So the best thing is like this is a serverless tool, okay, serverless, and we don't need to spin up any VMs. Google does it for us in the backend, okay, and it is fully managed tool. Okay, and where as I just mentioned, like storage and memory is like it's decoupled, and it will be scaling independently with respect to your demand, right? So this offers like immense flexibility with Google and have a good cost control. And this is a differentiator than the traditional based node based cloud data warehouse solutions or on premises MPP systems, right? So I think this is about architecture. What is about BigQuery? Yeah. So I just mentioned that there is no any virtual machines to manage or maintain it, and to make sure that we BigQuery does automatic replication within the region across the zones, right? And also it has auto failure capability. And this BigQuery maintains 99.9 uptime SLAs to meet our customers' business objectives. And this big part is where you can, the table changes from last 7 days can be maintained. This will help to allow for the time travel and get the data backed up into your BigQuery. Yeah. So data in BigQuery or data in Google is always encrypted by default by Google managed encryption keys. Yeah. But I think to help customers, we have got like customer managed encryption keys on top of it. And also we got a provision of customer supplied encryption keys. And the good part is on we can give a fine grained access controls through our IAM. And also we can give a column level security with help of cloud IAM. And where we'll see about where the cloud DLP is another tool which will help us to discover the sensitive data, classify the sensitive data, and redact the sensitive data, right? And other part is, as I sometime back I mentioned about the distributor, authorized distributor, right? So shared data set is a wonderful concept where we would be sharing the data in a read-only format. It can be with our internal, it can be with our external at any scale, where you can put a security on the row level or a column level and share it to your multiple businesses, right? So for example, as I just mentioned, right, so there is a source which being used by multiple things, but your business logic, okay, for example, there is a business logic which I have implemented, and you need a part of the business logic, and you have your own business logic. Rather than you starting from scratch, okay, you will take help, or because as we are in a single organization, maybe you may not be needing all 20 columns. Maybe you need only 10 columns. So what I'll do is I'll get you the shared data set created on the shared authorized views. Okay, what we call the name of that is authorized views, which I'll give you the authorized views with the read-only access. So where you can just take up your required columns, required data, and you can take it ahead, do a transformation on top of it, and get it into a dashboarding or anything as such. So this is what is a BigQuery's governance model and how to security out of the box, right? So yep, I think this is what we went through all the different phases and about BigQuery. I think
Yeah, that looks very robust and secure as well, like the governance model. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, thanks, Prasanjit. So let's get into a demo time. Yeah, this is demo time. Before that, I'll go through the end state. I think it's good to talk about target state first, and then we go
right
step by step. Okay, so if you see, this would be the end state for all the Google Cloud data for majority of the customers, right? So where you'd like to take up the batch load data from the on-premises, from your batch systems, right? And you can store any file in cloud storage, right? And then put the data with the help of parallel data processing, Google Cloud Data Flow, and put the data into the BigQuery with your batch pipeline. So we do have a templates on Google Cloud Data Flow, which will help us to get the data from Google Cloud Storage into BigQuery, but this data flow will help us to do a transformation on the go as well. You can have Python scripts with the help of this. This runs on Apache Beam backend. Yeah, so this will help us to do a customizations or transformation on the fly, which is a code with code ETL kind of a thing. Yeah, so this is what the batch load. Okay, and then if you come to a real-time data, so where we will use a synchronous messaging system, what we call as Cloud Pubs Up. we get the publishers, the subscribers, topics to be created, and then we'll enroll the subscribers. Then what with the help of again parallel data processing tool, data flow. Data flow is such an interesting tool which will help you to process the data, not only the batch, also streaming data. Okay, so this will help you to stream the data and try to put the data into BigQuery. Yeah, this is a streaming pipeline. But as I earlier mentioned, there'll be a charge involved when we do a streaming inserts. Yeah, but for real-time data, there is a cost-saving method as well, where we can split up the streaming into a micro batches, right? This will give you to a near real time data, but not real time data. If customer is okay to have near real time data, have run every hour, okay, but that saves you a cost. Okay, this will be like a micro batches. Okay, cloud pops up, put the data into cloud storage, and from cloud storage, get the data into BigQuery as a batch load, right? So this is a multiple solutions which we should be offering to customers and get attracted to the Google Cloud platform. But definitely real-time data, this is a process to get into it. And there is one more thing where I was mentioning on the data processing, which will be our MVP6, which is Cloud Data Fusion. This is a no-code ETL tool, yeah, where you can extract the data. And the good part is we can play with the data, do a data wrangling also with the help of Cloud Data Fusion, and also do a transformation we have plenty of sources. We've got a transformation and then sinks, where the sink can be a BigQuery and get that data on the BigQuery. So you'd like to do any kind of a transformation on top of build a views, build a semantic layer on the BigQuery, and then with with the help of fantastic tools like this is a Looker would be the great tool for all the dashboarding, and that's a BI tool. What Google is having it for, but my demo I'm choosing Google Data Studio. Again, that comes with free of cost as well. And there are other reporting tools which we can use it on top of the VM, like Tableau, ClickSense, and or we can have that into API driven from BigQuery with their respective APIs to fetch the data directly at the BigQuery. And other thing is like on the AI platform notebooks, where we like to have interactive data exploration. So where with the help of your Python scripts, it is helpful for your data analyst, data scientist. You want to play with the data. That's a fantastic tool what we have. Let's get into each and every phase of this, as this was like a more descriptive end state. Yeah. So shall we go ahead?
Yeah, this is fantastic. Yeah, let's go ahead. We got an idea of what is coming, so let's witness it.
Yeah, you're right. So let's start with a simple static analytics. So as I mentioned, get your data onto the Google Cloud BigQuery. Yeah, so where we call it as an analytics engine, and then get the data moved into Google Data Studio. So I'll try to add the data. Okay, so let's jump into the BigQuery directly. Yeah. So yeah, let's start with MVP1. It's as easy as you can just create a data set. Yeah, and we can just start doing MVP1 underscore simple data, right? Simple analytics. Right, so we can choose a default location, or BigQuery have plenty of locations you can choose from. Yeah, let me choose United States as a default location for me, and default table expiry. Yes, if you'd like to expire the data for some time, and or else you can keep it never. And encryption, as I've just mentioned, Google managed encryption is default. Google manages data and the rest, and at the in transit as well. Okay, so let me create a data set quickly. Yeah, so once the data set is ready, you can just click on data set. Yes, this data set is ready. So next step is to create a table. Okay, so we have plenty of options how to create a table. As you can see, like from Google Drive, you could have seen in the table, you could have seen in the slide, like when you build a data lake or data warehouse, you have plenty of options like Sheets, or Google Cloud Drive, or Google Cloud Storage. So like this as being a simple analytics, let's get the data uploaded from my laptop. I'll choose, I've got a sample data. What I have is page views. Yeah. So how many people have been viewing the Wikipedia pages, right? What kind of views, what kind of titles we have, right? So that's the one. And yeah, automatically it will choose different file types, because I've choose a CSV. We can have plenty of other types like JSON, Avro, Parquet, ORC as well, right? And you just give the name of the table name. Yeah. So for example, I'll choose pages underscore views for 2011, right? So I need to click on auto detect, right? Because where I have chosen table from, as it's a CSV, and there is an option to do a partitioning and clustering, so which will help us to improve the performance of data fetching or data storing, data loading. So this is great concepts, what we would like to use. Yeah. Let's click on creating a table. So we'll see like how easy it is to get creating a table. Yeah, there is a job created in the backend. Once the job is done, automatically the page views will be coming. Yeah, if you see, these are the schema tables, and I'd like to show you the data as well, how it is look for one time. Yeah. Yeah, so this is the one where you can see the sample data. So this is like a data wiki title and how many views have been there, right? So these are sample data, okay? And this is a language, English, France, Japanese, and how many views have been there for this particular title, right? So this is one of the sample data, okay? And then let's see, if you see the details, I see that, okay, this is a table which been loaded just now, and I've taken a sample of 100 rows, okay? And you can see the preview of the data, how it looks, all right? We got 1,000 rows, and I'm seeing just one of 100. So now how easy is to get these data into a meaningful dashboard, okay? So what we can do is just by single click, I'll do a query table, yeah? I'll take a select star as it has only 1,000 records, and I'll run the query. So once the query is run, yeah, this is the query, and there's a single click where we can see explore data. Okay, so if you just by single click, it will take you to Data Studio. Okay, here what you can do is put your dashboarding done. Okay, so where we can have multiple filter criteria, multiple different dimensions, you can use it, right? I'll just try to put some add new chart. This is one of the chart what we have. Let's try to use some pie chart. Okay, so this is what it will create a pie chart, and let me add some bar graph to it. Okay, so which will help me to create a bar graph. So this is on a record count. So if you see this, okay, where we can just play around the metric, play around the dimension. So you'd like to change the dimension from wiki to a title or to a views, it can get changed, right? And also we can do a drill down. Okay, so this is, if you see, if this is the maximum, which is English, right? And next is dish, next is Japanese, right? So this is a way where we can put it, but I have built a meaningful dashboard already. Yeah, just like getting the showing the power of Google Cloud Data Studio, where I can see what are the different languages, how many views been there, and this is one, how many clicks, like 44%, 29% is the main page, and then where we are seeing the other pages, right? And this is like what are the titles, like how many number of views for these titles is Zenon Martinic, the Serpent TV series, right? Tony Bennett. So this is the numbers. And then this is a views, the maximum number of views for this. Now, how many, like, what are the wiki, what are the record count, how the views think this is sample report. What we can still, we can make it more complex, where we can, with the help of Data Studio, we can get the data. And this is how easy is get yourself data, and sort the data, play with the data on the BigQuery, and then take the data into Google Cloud Data Studio, and get yourself dashboarding done. So what do you think, Prasanjit, on this?
That is wonderful,
demo?
man. I'm blown over, and this is so easy to build. And the best thing is you can make these dynamic dashboards. Like the
Yep,
data
these
can
these
keep
are.
changing, but the dashboard
Mhm.
remains the same, and it keeps populating. This
Yep, this is
is
just input
and it
input
just
to
took
the.
5 minutes to build.
Yep, it is, and you can make the complex reports as well. Okay, and the main important thing is it's Data Studio is free of cost, and this has seamless connectivity with BigQuery, right? So which will really
Okay.
help you to get seamless connectivity and get your dashboard. So this was um, this was basically the static analytics, right? So let's get
Right.
into a batch pipeline. So let's get a bit of a complexity where you can include it. So you will have your batch loading and put the data onto the Google Cloud Storage, and then have the data processed with the data flow, and then load the data into BigQuery, do a transformation, and then put a dashboarding with the help of a Google Data Studio as a BI tool. So for this demo, I've just made it as manual automation, because we need to set up the batches and all. But what I can do is I've just set up some manual uh, data, where I'll try to push the data onto the Google Cloud Storage, and we can have an event-driven architecture. Cloud functions can trigger a data flow job, right? So I think it just have timed out. I'm just trying to connect it back. Yeah, bear with me for a moment. Yeah, here we go. So what I'll do is I'll just try to put the data onto Google Cloud Storage. Yeah, as per our design. Yeah, and I'll show you how the data looks like in the file get transferred. So this is a film related data. Okay, I just try to be much interactive. The first one was wiki, and second one was a film related data. So when the film was related, what is the title of the film? And maybe, yeah, I need to just make it a bit a bigger one. Yeah, and where this film was choreographed or picturized, in which locations, who is the producer, who is the distributor. I think this will help us to get a good dashboarding, isn't it? So yeah, this is the data what we can see. And what we go is, so we now got data into BigQuery. So next step is to run the data flow job. There are multiple ways where we can run it via job, create job, but I've just taken up a SQL, okay, where with a Python script, which will help us to write from Apache Beam, and try to. It's a simple script again, where I've added the metadata, and I'm trying to read the data from the storage, and I'm skipping the header line where I'm giving the header, right, and then trying to push the data into the BigQuery. Yeah, I'm not doing much kind of a transformation, as this is pretty simple. Yeah, and let's try to run that job. Okay, so this is a job where I'll try to run the Python job with the film CSV load, and run on this project, choosing a central location, and we need to give a temporary location and a staging data with a number of workers. So I'll just run the job. Okay, I'll not wait till it runs, because I've just run a job sometime back. If you see a film CSV load, how it looks like. Okay, so yeah, this is a job, how it looks, right? So where it will be taking the data, splitting the data, and putting the data into the BigQuery, right? So this is how it works out. And maybe the job would be just triggered if you see, right? But let's get into the BigQuery again, going for MVP2, right? This is MVP2 what we're doing. So this is a film CSV load, what we have done. Okay, I'll show you this. These are the title. The job will help you to get the data with the help of schema. And then if you see the job, it just run some time back. Okay, This is like 20th September today, and it has run some time back. And if you see the data, it's again easy to preview the data, how the data looks like, right? Again, let's run a quick view of this, and let's get into the data studio again. Okay, this time I'll just have a quick rundown, yeah. And again, we'll try to view the data, how data looks like. And once it's viewed on the data, and let's explore the data with a data studio option. Yeah. So you can build dashboards like anything. So automatically it will get it. And if you would like to blend the data, okay, so you can get many joins, many tables, right? And we can have multiple sources as well. Okay, so where we can add new data sources. For example, I'll show you. This is a BigQuery, and where we can get the data from Google Drive or any other on-premises data. This is how easy it is to get yourself on this. And then again, let me add a quick report, or it's good. We can have a maps as well. I can show you in my other demo. So again, we'll get it. So this is how the title looks like. Okay, this is a dimension on title. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll try to change the dimension this time. So I'll just go by director. Okay, so I'll remove the title and say automatically it refreshes it. Okay, and this is what which helps users to play with the data as well. So where they can do a real-time insights and help the customer to play with the data, right? And as just like that, I've built up a dashboard. This is again on Data Studio, and this also will not take much time. Okay, so where I've just built up the titles are the producers like LLC, the Paramount, Warner Media, right? And how many total films we had in the data? It is like 3,400, right? And 383 are the unique directors, and 403 are the unique writers. And you see like record counts, or how many writers have done. One writer can have written many movies, right? And then with the title, if you see, okay, 2015, we released like 21 movies on that year. So same way, it's a great dashboarding. And the beauty of this interactive map on the Data Studio, it'll show like we had a data, if you see on BigQuery, where the location was, right? So in the location, with this helps the data where how to get the data, right? How the data would be converted into location into the where it is exactly located on the map, right? So this will help us to get the data. For example, you see you can pan and scan as well. So if you would like to see the data in the United States, right? So in Canada we had something, and if you see here, there were two Ocean Beach. So there were two movies or two titles, which was picturized or choreographed. And in Texas, we had someone Bloom Saloon, right? So like this, we can just go at any part of the world, and in Italy or Austria and in France, right? So this is a meaningful dashboard, which as an example, which I'm showing it for the wider group. And this shows how easy it is to build a dashboard on Google Cloud with the help of Google Data Studio. All of the basic things, but yeah, I would like to tell one more thing on Google Looker. That's the tool which is like for enterprise edition. You'd like to have plenty of dashboards with respect to the financial things, reporting, and all. Okay, but when in Data Studio, I didn't tell you a bit. Like we can share these reports to multiple people, okay, and we can also give the right accesses to it. And also the main important thing is we can schedule it, okay, schedule an email delivery, okay. For example, if there is a weekly report going on, so you build a weekly report and schedule it, right, on every day or every week, so you can schedule it and reach it to the right audience, okay. Another part is yeah, you can download into a PDF report as well. So where you would like to send it, or you can send it in a link version. So this is how what we did it for getting into the uh, batch pipeline. So I think isn't it interesting, Prasanjit?
Very interesting and very useful and easy to build, easy to learn as well. Like the learning curve is not steep. Anyone with
Mhm.
basic database knowledge will be able to handle this and make really
Yeah.
meaningful reports. Yes.
Data, yeah. I think BI, we don't need any BI experts to do this, doing a Google
Yeah,
Cloud,
right. That's
Google
what I'm
Data Studio.
imagining. Like
Yeah.
when we build BI tools, we need experts. We need experts who
Yes, yes,
understand
yes.
Hadoop and all that. So,
Yeah, but as this
so
is free of cost, right? So we might have some restrictions as well. Okay, but you might not get a hi-fi features, but is what else you
right.
need for having a good dashboarding. Okay, let's
Yeah.
take it to a next step is on data exploration. So what it does, we have done all these things already. Okay, now let's get the data. The data is already on BigQuery, and let's try to do an interactive data exploration with the help of AI platform notebooks. So where I need to spin a new notebook, okay, new instance, and I need to choose whether it's a Python or what kind of a tool it is, what kind of a environment, what is the region, and just give some configuration details and just click a create. So it will spin you a VM, a notebook, what we can call it as. Once it is done, so you can just click on Jupyter Lab. So this will take to a Jupyter Lab environment. Okay, so where we can write a Python scripts. Okay, Python scripts, and yeah, I think it's coming here. What I'll do is I'll just clear. I'll clear all the outputs. Yeah, and so this is how we are interacting. So this is on Google Cloud. The AI platform notebook has been a engine, computer engine, on the Google Cloud, and this again has a seamless connectivity with BigQuery. Yeah, so we can just write a simple query. Okay, there is a magic command BigQuery, percentage BigQuery. This shows, okay, this starts, okay, let's start doing some BigQuery scripts, right? So this is how easy. What I've done is I'll try to visualize the same data for MVP1, where page views. I'll show you the comparison how the data is looking in the BigQuery and on the Jupyter notebook or AI platform notebook as well. So if you just run it, so this shows how easy it is to just write this is again simple SQL, yeah,
SQL.
and
Yeah.
then yeah. So and even we can have some complex scripts as well going on, and then I'll try to just do some complexity, just adding. This is sorting what I've done in for MVP1, just to see that what are the maximum number of views. Yeah, same way I'll just run this as well, where I can see data coming up with like only I'm choosing only the English records, English things, and just get some views on it. Okay, so now I like to do a plotting with the help of Matplotlib. Okay, in line with the data, because this is what we have already stored the data out there. Okay, and then this particular percentage MATLAB will call the libraries. Okay, so that's fine. So it will be I'm calling the library. Yeah, and then I need to plot it. Okay, what you would like to plot. Okay, so I want to plot a bar graph. And what is x-axis? X is title, y is views, and then yes, we can just try to build a graph. Okay, this is how easy is to build the graph, whatever we have done in Google Data Studio. If you'd like to play with the data and have a quick insight, quick dashboarding for the customers, we can get it done. I think this was a similar bar chart what I had showed on the Google Data Studio as well. But there is other complexity, other complex things what we can play with Python scripting as well, where I'll call some Google libraries, okay, and where I'd like to have some data frames created, and then I would like to store the data on the data forms, and then I'll try to use the pivot tables. where I'd like to again do a title, what are the columns, are the views, and records will be the value count or the record count. And this is a different type of plot what we would like to do it. Yeah. So this is what this shows like how easy is to have a different set of insights on the data. It can be a tabular format, it can be a pie chart also can be done, or a bar graph also can be done. This is how easy is to get yourself alternative approach to get your data quick dashboarding and help the customer do a data analytics and help them to play along with the data, right?
Right, this is very useful for data engineers to do
Yes.
some proof of concepts also before they build the entire dashboard. They can just play around with the data here. And then even if later on they want to build certain models for ML also, that they can do it here in the Jupyter lab.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, fantastic. Yep. Let's get into next phase. Yeah, we just did a data exploration with the help of AI platform notebook. We are getting into a difficult phases. Yeah, or complex phases, you can say. Okay, so this time what data is already on the BigQuery. Okay, now you'd like to run some BigQuery ML scripts. Okay, so where you'd like to create a model and train the model and also predict the data how it looks.
Yeah.
So here, yes, I'm running a simple data models. Yeah, and it requires a tuning. Okay, and this was a demo. I was just trying to get the data, and again we can have that done on the multiple places. Okay, so we got the data loaded over here. Yeah, and have some models created. Okay, I can just show you. Yeah, I think Bigquery Ml Scripts, right? So where we can just try to create a model. So I'll just show you how easy it's just a SQL like code, right? It's just like SQL like code where you will write create or replace model. Okay, where I'll try to replace the model, and what is the model type. Okay, where we have plenty of different model types, but I'm choosing a simple one to have a linear, where I would like to predict the number of views on what column you have to do a prediction. Yeah, let's take the query. Yeah, which looks like a simple SQL query, like create or replace model BigQuery ML simple views model, and put what type of model type it is. Yeah, and then what we do is we'll choose what kind of a columns do a predictions, and we need to provide the training data. Okay, by clicking this run, okay, it will create a new model. If you see, it is running the model. I think it takes around 20 seconds, not more than that. It depends upon the data what we have, like part of a training data. Okay, and yep, I think you see here if the model have been created. Okay, if you let's go to the model what we have just created. Okay, so yeah, this was created with the help of linear regression, and we do have like many iterations we went it, and we like to see a training data. So this is how the training data looks like, and this was the training loss. Yeah, but definitely we do have if you come to evaluation, see very high absolute error, because this is what we need to tune it. Okay, this is an example which I've taken up, but we got a good R square error as well. Yeah, and this is how this new schema what we have got it, like predicted views, right? So this is now what we have trained, where we have created a model. The next step, I think I'll just take you to other option. Okay, I'll take you to other option where we can get these things done on the AI platform notebook as well, because we need a data scientist to use a use a machine learning as well. So I've already created a model, Okay, I like to evaluate model now. I think when I went to BigQuery, it says, right, so it says evaluation, right? Again, we can see the evaluation, yeah, where you can yeah, can just run this particular script. Again, I'm calling a BigQuery as a function, and just evaluate function I just mentioned, like it's high absolute error, which we requires tuning, yeah, but we got a good R2 score, what you can say. And next, let's predict it. Now it's time to predict it. So what I'll do is I'll just run the query over here as well, and also I can show this same into the uh, Google Cloud BigQuery as well. So if you see the prediction, what we have made is like, okay, after the prediction can go up to 7,422 from 7,100. Yeah. And this one can go from 6,945 to 14187. So this is how what we built a linear regression model and help us to predict the number of views with the help of linear regression model. And this is how easy is to get yourself create a model, train a model, and evaluate it. And then also you can see the data, right? So you can see the predicted data on the BigQuery, and that's the other advantage of Jupyter Lab or AI platform notebook, where I would like to show you a multiple solutions, right? So yeah, I think this is a basic BigQuery ML about where anyone can create their models with the help of SQL and get the prediction or any such kind of machine learning activities. This is just 101.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can do lot of machine learning with the help of BigQuery machine learning stuff.
Yeah, I like the part where because you do not have to leave your console. Like you just go into the
Yeah.
GCP console, do everything there.
Mm,
You don't need
yep.
separate tools, or you don't need I mean separate tools to connect to databases, not to train your models. Even after hyperparameter tuning is also available there in the AI lab. So you get the
Yep.
entire thing in
Mhm.
one place. So that's very
Yeah,
useful.
definitely. So we do have Google have AutoML, now it's Vertex AI as well, right? So there you get multiple features, but this is what you if you would like to play with the data which is already on the BigQuery, right?
Mhm.
So no need to get the data from external, and you can transform data. You have already transformed it, and let's get into the BigQuery machine learning language, and where we have multiple solutions as well to run the BigQuery machine learning scripts, right? Okay. Since it was interesting, and let's because machine learning is crux, and that's the
Right.
that's the top of what BigQuery gives us, right? So BigQuery not only help us to get a data warehouse, data lake, data mart, or anything as such, but also do a machine learning, which is like icing on a cake, right? Okay, now let's get into a real-time pipeline. Okay, so if you'd like to get the data real time, I can say I've set up some sources where we have plenty of sources which will send us data on every half an hour or every an hour whenever the data comes up, right? So with the help of Cloud Pub, so we extract the data, read the data, and then process the data with the help of Cloud Data Flow and load the data into the BigQuery, the streaming pipelines, right? And then at last, we'll try to load the data into the Google Data Studio. So let's jump into that things, right? So where we see that these are the different topics what we have created. Okay, this is one of the topic which is having the data, which we get the data from the different source. Yeah, if you see the data, it's from last 6 hours, last one day. We are getting a frequent data. Okay, and yeah, I think this is the start. Okay, once the data is run, then data is started with the help of data flow job. This is a streaming job, if you like to say it. Yeah. Yep. So where it is converting as well, because the streaming data, it can have a kind of JSON format where we'll have some repetitive fields as well. So we'd like to convert that into a tabular format and then try to write the data into the BigQuery. Yeah. And this is streaming. Okay, and streaming from last few hours. Okay, and this will be running across. Okay, I think if you can see that I've just run some time back on the MVP2, it's completed to load the data. Okay, I think next step is to get. I think this is what uh, yeah, what we need to convert that convert the BigQuery tabular format, right, into a view. From the view, we have to take it to Google Data Studio, right? So let's get into the crux of it. So we went through the data flow, yeah, and now the next step is to get the data onto the streaming. Okay, so this is a streaming report, a streaming table where you see, like, I showed the metadata some time back, where you see what is the record type, object type, what is a timestamp, because this is a contact data. What we are getting, it's a real-time data, right? So this is a different type of data, and if you see the details, so if you see here, so we have got last modified date is just some time back, right? So this means the real-time data, you'll be putting the data into the BigQuery in real time, right? But we will be charged with the streaming inserts, right? But if you see that there are something buffer is happening in between as well with other rows, what is the size of it, and when it started at last, right? That will show when was it last executed, right? So this is how the data looks like. Yeah, as a next step, let's get into a Google Cloud Data Studio dashboard, where I have created some meaningful dashboard with real-time data, what we are getting from the different source system, which we have a contact data from the various sources, like various devices, how much time it were connected between each other, what are like total originating devices till now, and what were the total duration, what's the average duration between them, and what is the original device. And then, as I just mentioned, like we have a data and we can just start it on the newer data, right? So where you can see, like, this particular device from source to target, it will be like 22 minutes, right? And this is again a pie chart where we can see, and this is the latest report that what we have just come up some time back, which is in UTC time, and this is a total record count. And if you see the locations of the originating device, where you can see in London, we got around 48,587 available devices are in London. And if you see the unique detected devices, okay, so like few days where we see like 36 were the devices for that particular day. That was maximum. And you would like to see know the device ID, and then just check only that devices to do a filter criteria to it, and then say, okay, 2,370 are the devices for it, and this is the duration. And again, we got 2370, and this is what our latest timestamp of that device. Okay, if you see, but this has not come today, right? This was the last time when that device has had a connect, right? So this is how easy, how beneficial to have a real-time dashboarding, and just by single refresh data, you can just refresh the whole dashboard and also schedule a delivery to your customer stakeholders, and they will get they would get the report. Yeah, and you see everything. Just I'll take out a filter, and then it will be like the latest one, what you can see. Yeah. I just wanted to show like how we got the data into the BigQuery with the help of Google Cloud Data Flow and PubSub, which is asynchronous messaging service for Google Cloud, and get your dashboarding done on Google Data Studio, which is real time. And I was just mentioning earlier, to save some cost, if business doesn't need a real time, can need a near real time, at that time we can split into a micro batch environment and process the data as a batch. So I think this is a real-time pipeline. Prasanjit, isn't it interesting?
Yeah, this is interesting. And even the previous one was interesting where we
Hmm.
had this micro, like
Batch.
a scheduled way you are
Ah,
sending your batches. Yeah, so that's
yeah,
near real
yes.
time is good enough for most use cases.
Yes, definitely. But when you come with IoT devices and
Yeah, then.
kind of a mobile
Mhm.
data, that time I think real time is what which a lot of people, a lot of industries, customers are using this particular real time pipeline. It's not like very few people are using it, but we got a plenty of use cases for real time scenarios. Yeah, I just showed
Great.
one of the reason. Yeah, so now let's come to the next step on last MVP, what we call it as code-free development, called as Etf Data Pipelines, where we can uh, take the data, whatever is loaded on Google Cloud Storage, and do a processing, and then push the data back into BigQuery and do the dashboarding later on. Okay, so let's get into a demo. As I've got it done some time back. Okay, so where I'll do the kind of a walkthrough on the demos. Yeah, so where we will have to create a data fusion new instance. Yeah, so where you can one moment. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, so where we would like to create a new instance. If you see, if you can get to data fusion and just try to create a new instance, okay, it's easy is to just spin an instance and choose the region where you would like to deploy your data fusion instance. Yeah, and then choose a different types like enterprise, basic, developer, and then choose a right service account to choose it, because it's not it's we need to create a service. It's not a serverless service, but yes, we need to put a service and choose the right configuration. And yeah, this is service account, what we need to give the extra permissions, what you can say. Yeah, so this is what we need to have: some kind of cloud data fusion admin or API service agent access is what we should give. And yeah, I think just by single click we can just spin the instance. Okay, when you click on the view instance, the instance is being created for us. And here it's the best thing. We can wrangle the data and do an integration of the data as well, and monitor, manage, and govern. So this, we have plenty of things, but now we go to a studio version of data integration. Yeah, and yep, this is how the canvas look like. It's like a, it looks like like a ETL tool which we have worked upon, and we have bunch of services to use. For example, we'll try to use data from GCS, and let's, for initially, I'll just try to use it only for BigQuery without transformation, right? And this is a place where we need to configure the sources, what kind of a source we use, a bucket what we have created, and we can just choose pay film.csv or page views .csv. And here what it does is a path we need to choose, it is a CSV file, right? And then I would like to skip the header, and also I should map it what is a delimiter, and then click on get schema. Wait for a moment, it will automatically give you a output schema on the right side. See here, these are the schema like data, wiki, title, views. Just you get a validate it and then go to a next step. This is a target where you would like to give the project details, right? Give the project details, what is a data set, what table you would like to write, right? Validate it and close it. But I've created for a faster thing, like I've created a mappings already, which is like getting the GCS data to BigQuery. Yeah. Yeah, so this is what when you try to run the job, I think first time I got some errors, and then I'll just get warnings, and you can see a plenty of logs how it is working in the background. Yeah, how it is getting Chris writing, reading the data, passing the credentials, And if you see the data here, okay, so this is not this one. Okay, I'll just need to. This is other one which I'll take you to the next step. Okay, let me get into the page views. Okay, this is the one, page views in Fusion. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So yeah, it's just loaded, and you can see the data of how it is looking like, right? And then again, from here, you can go to Data Studio. But before that, I like to do some transformation, simple transformation. I'll just show you the other job which I've created, second job. Here also, we can create plenty of transformations. Okay, I'll just show you a few of them as well, one of the complex ones. So this is how I've just added a transformation in between. I just doing a group by, right? I'll just do a group by and then try to run the job and see the statistics. You see that these are like where I'm doing a group by. Just an example, you can transform the data, you can write the rules and get the things. So this is how we can use the Google Cloud Data Fusion, right? And this is one of the complex one which I was talking about, where you can wrangle the data, you can join the data, and once we get that done, and this is the data. What you can see, I've just taken up some COVID data, where you can see plenty of data coming up, transform data where we are doing a join, and yeah, if you see there. Yeah, if you see this is one of the complex one. What we can see is, yeah, wrangling. We are doing a joining and loading the data on the BigQuery. Yeah, so this is how the MVP 6 looks like, where you'd like to do the data and have a look at it and do a preview of it, and then goodbye. What I've just showed it, and then there is COVID Fusion data, where you'd like to see plenty of data coming up, and we see the 35,000 right now with where they are located, what is the latitude, longitude of that user. So I think this is what a use case of doing a transformation, complex transformation with the help of data fusion. That's the use case to do a transformation. If anyone would like to do a code free, okay, with the help of coding, you can do a transformation with the data flow. But if you'd like to do the doing without any code at that time, this is a fantastic tool where you can work on it, and where we have plenty of transformations, plenty of different type of sources we have, and different types of transformations, different types of targets. So this is about MVP 6 on doing a code-free development of ETL.
This was, again, I mean, the levels we are growing, and this is more and more interesting. And this is a very good use case. Like, we have seen organizations where you have some people who might not be very good at SQL or coding,
Python
but they are good. Yeah. But they may be good analysts. So
Yes.
here you can do the workflow and really analyze data well. So again, useful.
And
data fusion.
And data fusion has a data wrangler also, where you can play with the data, where you can do kind of data cleaning also, data cleansing, what you can say, right? That can also be done. Data discovery, what kind of a data it is, right? What kind of how many whether there are any kind of a nulls coming up, or any kind of a data quality issue, DQ issue, which can be fixed on the fly as well, right? It is again writing a recipes and getting the data out into the data fusion, and that put into a BigQuery. Yeah, I think this was if you summarize how we started this, what I'll do is the MVP stages with the Google Cloud tools, what I've used, like The simple analytics, what we use is like a BigQuery and Data Studio. And then we use data flow for a batch. And then for using deeper data insights, used AI platform notebooks and doing a BigQuery machine learning, we use BigQuery ML. And then doing a real-time analytics. PubSub is it's a key asynchronous messaging service, and data flow, which I've already told them, number 2. And third one was like data fusion, where we can do all the transformation without any kind of a code. Yeah. So, I think this was a demo and about how we unleash the power of superpower of data with Google Cloud. And these are the demos which will help customers to understand how easy is to get yourself on customer to get onboarded on the Google Cloud platform, especially on the data bit. You can start with BigQuery and simple, complex, whatever is your requirement, and start working on it. So whenever we usually run many workshops to the customers, and whenever you run workshops, always advise to get a demos along with your workshops rather than getting a slides to the customers. So demos really attracts and gives them a strong feel how easy is to get yourself onboarded. And so these are demos can be wrapped up. And you can reach out to me for any more details on any kind of a data analysis or kind of a data integration on Google Cloud, on data migration and other things. Yeah. So if you got any questions, we can go through it quickly. I think it was a great interactive session, Prasanjit. I think we had in between questions.
Right, Vijay. So don't have questions at the moment. If something comes up, we'll reach out to you. And same for the viewers, because it was interactive. We have been answering the questions alongside demonstrating, and it was a great demo. And the thing I appreciate about this solutions that you showed us is having worked as an infrastructure engineer, I have worked building on some big data clusters like Hadoop, and then I also built some Marathon clusters. So I know the enormity of getting one big data cluster up, and you showed us just the opposite, like how easy it is to build a big query, and like you just have a GCP account, go on and start using it, and you have these templates there. And you also showed us the steps, like how to proceed from a simple level to a bigger level where you have automated stuff, machine learning, real-time data analytics, data fusion. So it was a great session, Vijay, and thanks for taking out the time. And it was a marathon session, like it was probably more than 1.5 hours or close to that.
You're right. I think, really I enjoyed your questions. I think few were from some users, as you just mentioned, right? Many viewers as well. And your questions, fantastic questions. And I really enjoyed walking you through all with the demos, workshop, what we did. And I'd like to thank you on and all every viewers as well. And thank you, Prasanjit, for taking out time and setting up this quick demo and reaching out to our cloud customer engineering community, and where everyone can get benefit and get these things used across in their jobs as well.
Thanks a lot, Vijay. Thanks for taking out the time, and appreciate your presence here. Thank you.
Thanks. Cheers. Have a nice evening. Everyone. Cheers. Bye.
You too. Thanks.